Our next guest watched the FBI hearing yesterday, got an ominous feeling. His warning about our government plus...
The FBI will crush you. This government will crush you and your family if you try to expose the truth about things that they are doing that are wrong.
That was FBI agent and whistleblower Garrett O'Boyle giving his thoughts on the embattled agency at yesterday's House hearing.
It's just hard to believe this is happening in the United States of America. Those are some serious allegations. Joining us now to discuss, branding advisor to CEOs, Marc Rudov, and back with us, John Burnett. Thank you guys for being with us. I'll start it off with you, Marc. You've been making the case that it's not just the FBI and intelligence agencies that are the problem, but the entire DC power structure is controlling America. That is deep when you're talking about the deep state. Can you explain, can you elaborate for us?
Well, the reason that the Federal Bureau of Intimidation has so much power is because DC has so much power. And in that graphic I created, Lydia, you can see that DC has subsumed all of America. You know, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the Constitution lays out the parameters of Washington, D.C., which was born on July 16, 1790. And it was subordinate to the states. It was just supposed to be an administrative hub. But it has grown into this behemoth, which now controls everyone and everything. If you remember back in August of, 1986, Ronald Reagan in a press conference said the most terrifying 9 words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Look what has happened. The Federal Bureau of Intimidation is now destroying lives. And the Republicans, the rhinos, the Democrats have allowed this power to build and build and build. And it's nothing like what the Constitution calls for. So how can we expect it to be any different when this has been happening over time?
Not everybody praising the FBI whistleblowers, though. MSNBC's Nicole Wallace has this to say about the hearing.
They are reappropriating the term whistleblower after doing everything they could to endanger the life of the actual whistleblower that led to Donald Trump's first impeachment. And they are standing by people who are, at a minimum, and again, it's not in dispute, guilty of insubordination.
Well, that's a completely different look, John.
Absolutely. Look, the framers of our great nation understood from history that government assumes uncontrolled power if you allow it. That's why they put it in we the people's hands. And I usually agree with most of what Marc says. I would actually say that, you know what, it's not just Democrats, it's also Republicans, right? This is a marriage. And things have happened on both sides. So, we have to collaborate across party lines to try to save our republic, because if we don't, government will assume power at the local, state, and federal level to the levels in which we have never seen before, and it's already escalating. They have partners. They have college campuses, right? They have certain local institutions and nonprofits. This is a concerted effort that we have to fight against in order to save our country.
Marc, I got a big question for you. We only have a minute left. What advice would you give then to the incoming president? Say it's a Republican. I mean, do we dismantle the FBI, the CIA? What do we do? Or do we just kind of get rid of the top echelon where we see, it seems that that's where the corruption is beginning?
Well, that would be a start, Lydia, but it's not just the president. The people have to stop electing un-American people and have to stop electing people like AOC who have no experience and just want to get into the government to collect paychecks. We have become very dangerous. Whenever you overhear people discussing some kind of problem in America, invariably they say, well, I think we need new legislation. That means more power back in DC. We need to bring the power back to the states.
But Marc, you are a branding expert, right? Companies don't say, well, people just have to buy our product. You have to actually position your product with the right branding, messaging, and outreach. We call that sales. So we have to do a better job in selling conservative values.
Gentlemen, we got to leave it there. Marc Rudov, Marc, thank you. And John, thank you. You stick around. Marc Rudov, thank you. Always a pleasure.